especially Professor Sabine Alcaire and John Hemmock for having invited us and provided the funding to bring us here and to participate in this so qualified initiative, and so I think very important initiative to disseminate not only the measures of poverty, but also the concepts and also the policies to fight against poverty. And tomorrow I will have another time I have another section to present. I will have much more time. So I selected a few points or messages to present here, okay? And as you know, as you may already know, Brazil has gone under very intense social advances since the last 20 years, and specifically and under the 10 last years, in all regions, and also even in more vulnerable regions and more vulnerable populations. As it can be shown by many social indicators, as we presented in this slide, using the poverty line constructed by World Bank, using child mortality rate, or using educational attendance, or using unemployment rates, you can see the evolution are very favorable for Brazil, and especially in the more vulnerable areas during the last 10 years. Those indicators are presented consolidated in a publication I have, and also I have some CD, so I can share with you on that, but it's also in our website. Well, these advances, those in general and specifically in more vulnerable areas, are due to four main factors. First of all, we have had economic policy decisions guided to social concerns, and also guided for the development of our consumer market in Brazil. Another important fact that should be mentioned is that we still believe that it's very important to continue to invest or continue to allocate growing resource on universal policies, on education, on health, on social security, and many other policies that we have in Brazil, as scripted in our Constitution in 1988. And another specific point that was developed in the last 10 years is that besides the universal policies, we also have to have specific programs or actions oriented or targeted to vulnerable groups, as cash transfers, but also funding to small farmers, and also affirmative actions concerning race and gender aspects, and also designing a specific service guided or targeted to vulnerable people in Brazilian regions. And also a third aspect, not least, but not less important, is the all improvement we have had in policy formulation, and also monitoring and evaluation in Brazil. And also all the efforts to program management, to improving the program managers, and also producing information and producing indicators for our policies. This is the main question we will be dealing tomorrow. And the first message I would like to present here is that all these years of fighting the poverty has been arranged, has been consolidated in a plan that we call Brasil Sem Miséria, or Brazil Without Poverty. And this plan has an important and a broader perspective of what we call poverty. Poverty is a complex and multidimensional aspect, but in a democratic and solidarity-based society, as we think we are in Brazil and in many other countries. Living in an urbanized world and wealthy world, no one should be deprived of the means to guarantee its surveillance, deprived of the means to access the rights, the social rights, and also deprived of means of information and access to opportunities to self-improvement. So what we're trying to point here is that besides all the classical social rights we have, and also the concern about giving some cash transfer to allow the surveillance of people, we also think it's important to provide the means of funding, to provide the vocational experience, to provide information to allow people to get their own self-development by inclusive growth. And so the Plano Brasil Sem Miséria, Brazil Without Poverty, has more than 100 actions and programs structured in 3 axes. In cash transfers, with one of these cash transfers initiatives is Bolsa Família, but it's not the only one. We have much more programs on that. Another axis is to provide the public and universal rights and service to people, because the poorest people are distant, are in more inaccessible areas, so we have to do efforts to bring them all the services we already have, and also we have to provide actions to inclusive growth, to inclusive a way to bring to this population the opportunities that the market will not give them, because they don't have the assets, they don't have the criteria that the market thinks it's important. Well, so complex programs, a broader perspective of poverty means a more broader and complex strategy to fight it, and so we need a more broader, we need a broader and many indicators to follow the policies. So we have a lot of indicators, we have a lot for monitoring, and also we have been constructing a lot of evaluatory indicators to do that. And also the other message we think it's very important to bring, and many others of the people that came here already said, it's besides producing information, besides producing multiple indicators or multidimensional indicators, is to guarantee that this information can be used by the people that can make the difference at all the levels they are involved. So we are doing many efforts to extend the use of these indicators in a website, and also in courses we are doing all over Brazil, with a site, as you can see, Brasil Sem Miséria site, and this site brings information in very different ways, because indicators can be very complex to comprehend, but we also put information on reports of 4 and 5 pages. We bring information on time series, as you see, in graphics. We also bring information on maps at sub-municipality level, or we have information on census tract, and also we bring some information, some tools, so the people can analyze the evolution of indicators, and even in some areas. Well, we have many other indicators. I think we will have an opportunity to show that we have already in Brazil a strategy and indicators that can present how is the head count of poverty in each municipality of Brazil. We have more than 5,000 municipalities. We have this information for every month, and also the gap, and also all the severity measures that can help us. Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity.